Osa Sanale E. CEO. Good morning and hello. Um, Today I wanted to do a little bit. I wanted to, let you guys know that I'm going to do a little bit some things a little differently. Like I'm going to change the name of the channel. I want to change the name of the channel because it. I don't really do a lot of bushcraft stuff, so I don't want to lead people to believe this is a sole bushcraft channel and basically be not being truthful. So I want to go ahead and change the name of the channel. I'm going to change it to Native Tongue, which basically gives more to what I'm doing to the channel, because I'll be telling Cherokee myths and legends, Mississippian myths and legends, and doing a lot of recreating art from that era. So I think that's a better suited name than the prior one. So it's going to be the same content that I have been doing. So it's not, the content's not going to change. The only thing that's going to change basically is the name and the description of the channel. So I just want to let you guys know about that. I just think it'll be a better fit for the channel, and it won't give any false pretense to what I do on the channel. So, which is kind of what I want to avoid. I should have thought about that, but I actually intended on doing a lot more bushcraft stuff, but time permitting, I don't really have that with work and other things that are, that happens in life. So I think we'll just stick with Native Tongue. I think that's explains the channel a lot better, and gives more, like I say, pretense to what I'm actually doing on the channel. So I think it would be just a better all-around channel name. So that's what we're going to stick with for right now, or all forever, I guess. Is Native Tongue. So welcome to Native Tongue. And what I do here, if you haven't seen this channel before, please, if you like the stories, if you have any questions about the stories or anything that I do on the channel, please comment, and I will answer those comments to the best of my ability, as fast as I can. So you guys just comment on the stories, tell me what you think, and we'll continue going on with this. So with that said, and that out of the way, I have a story for you guys today, and this is an old Cherokee legend, and it is called The Spirit Defenders of Nikwasi, and it is a mound. There's a mound actually named under the same name, Nikwasi Mound, and it is part of the Mississippian culture, the Cherokee culture, more than likely the Creek culture as well, the Muskogee Creek culture. So I'm going to tell you guys about the spirit defenders of this mound, and it goes along with myth and legend of, I guess you could qualify it as a fairy folk type of legend. And I just thought it was really cool, and I wanted to share it with you guys, as I'm going to be sharing more and more story content, myths and legends of the Cherokee. So let's get started on this story. All right, the Spirit Defenders of Nikwasi. Long ago, a powerful unknown tribe invaded the country from the southeast, killing people and destroying settlements wherever they went. No leader could stand against them, and in a little while they had wasted all of the lower settlements and advanced into the mountains. The warriors of the old town of Nikwasi, on the head of the Tennessee River, gathered their wives and children into the townhouse and kept scouts constantly on the lookout for the presence of danger. The morning just before daybreak, the spies saw the enemy approaching and at once gave them the alarm. The Nikwasi men seized their arms and rushed out to meet the attack, but after a long, hard fight, they found themselves overpowered and began to retreat. When suddenly a when suddenly a stranger stood among them and shouted to the chief to call off his men, and he himself would drive back the enemy. From the dress and language of the stranger, the Nikwasi people thought him a chief who had come with reinforcements from the overhill settlements in Tennessee. They fell back along the trail, and as they came near the townhouse, they saw a great company of warriors coming from out the side of the mound, as though an open doorway. Then they knew that their friends were the... I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. I can't find any references to this name or how to say it. So just give me a little leeway on the name, but it's NUNNEHI. I think it's the NUNNEHI, which means the Immortals. Although no one had ever heard before that they lived under the Nikwasi mound. The NUNNEHI poured out by the hundreds, armed and painted for the fight. And the most curious thing about it all was that they had become invisible as soon as they were fairly outside the settlement. So that although the enemy saw the glancing of arrows and the rushing of tomahawk and felt the stroke, he could not see who sent it. Before such invisible foes, the invaders soon had the retreat, going first south along the ridge which separates the French Broad from the Tuskegee, and then turning with it northeast. As they retreated, they tried to shield themselves behind the rocks and the trees, but the NUNNEHI arrows went around the rocks and killed them from the other side, and they could find no hiding place. All along the ridge they fell until when they reached the head of the Tuskegee, not more than half a dozen were left alive, and in despair they sat down and cried out for mercy. Ever since then, the Cherokee have called the place where they cried. Hold on, fire's going out. Let me get this going back up here. Let us continue, shall we? Let's see, where were we? Okay, so the NUNNEHI chief told them they had deserved their punishment for attacking a peaceful tribe, and he spared their lives and told them to go home and take their news to their people. This was the Indian custom, always to spare a few to carry back the news of the new defeat. They went home towards the north, and the NUNNEHI went back to the mound. So I find these legends really, really, really fascinating, especially the ones that have to do with fairy folk type of entity, or the little people or spirits coming to fight. And in doing more studying on the NUNNEHI of the Nikwasi mound, there was actually a tale about them coming out to help the Confederates during the Civil War, which I thought was kind of neat. Apparently, there was a surge of Northern troops towards this part of Tennessee where the mound is, and the Confederates were. There was a Confederate soldier there standing guard, and he went to go alert the other Confederates about this Northern advancement. And strangely enough, when he got back, he saw that they had left. They had gone, but he saw that there were Native Americans, Indians, coming back towards the mound, and then they just disappeared into the mound. So he went on to explain that he thought that these spirits had chased off the North. I thought that was pretty neat. I don't know if this soldier had ever heard the legend before, or if he, and he just sort of wanted to make up his own story on it, or if, it could be a true thing. He might have never heard of them before and just actually saw this. So I find that really fascinating. But there have been other tales of people seeing the spirit warriors and things like that, and just thought it was really cool. And I appreciate you guys coming by and listening to the story today, listening to the legend, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any comments, please, comments or questions, please leave them in the comments below. And like I said, I will get to those and answer those as best as I can, as fast as I can. Again, thank you for understanding that I needed to change the name of the channel. It just didn't fit what I was doing, and I think that being a new YouTube channel, now that I'm started up and I kind of found my niche, I think that's what I'm going to stick with. So I like telling you guys the legends and stories and myths, and I like recreating the art of the Mississippian Indians and the Cherokee, and probably even some Creek. So I really like recreating those types of things. And just to give you guys a little bit of background, and I'm going to post a picture of it either at the end of the video or at the beginning, but just give you guys some background of why I'm so interested in Native American culture, legends, myths, tales, artwork, language, everything of that nature, is because I am part Native American. I'm part Cherokee. I know it's like a running joke in the Cherokee community, well, in the Native American community, that everybody's great grandmother is a Cherokee and all of that, but mine really was a Cherokee. And she, like I said, I'll post a picture before or after this video of her and some of my other family, and I really like that picture. She actually did not like being called Native American. She was ashamed of being Native American, mainly because she went to the boarding schools. She was sent to the boarding schools when she was just a kid. I don't know how old she was, but I remember her telling me that she was sent to the boarding schools, and they, did not want them to practice their religion. They made them ashamed of being Native American. They had to cut off their hair. They couldn't speak their language. They could not, go on with the legends and the stories of their people. They weren't allowed to do anything Native American. They were made to be ashamed, to be who they were. And I think that's really sad, because I think that that's one of the reasons why we've lost so much culture and heritage from the Native American people, is because it was forced out of them. And I'm sure there were more like her that were, taught to be ashamed of their heritage and taught to be ashamed of who they were and their people. And it's really sad. So it makes me want to share it even more, because she didn't get to, and I really don't find her at fault at that. So I want to make sure that people hear about it, and it's not going to end, and it's not going to dwindle away like it did from so much to so little. So I just want to make sure that it's heard, and do the things that she wasn't allowed, or do the things that she was taught not to do. So I appreciate you guys again, and cheers, and I hope you guys have a really great day today. It's Sunday, and it's nice here in Georgia, so in the U.S. And I'll probably just sit out here for a little bit, enjoy the fire because it's kind of cool, and enjoy my tea, and catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy.